Hi everybody, it's me, Jordan here, and today I'm going to talk about something. It's about if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't understand what you're doing, then don't do it. Now I know that that's easier said than done. With people, with everybody. You have appliances and electronics, some very easy to understand, some very complicated. Now, some people might say easy and complicated depends. Now, some might say, well, the television, when it first came out, was well, I wouldn't say it was complicated, but it was simple. But as time went on, television started getting more complicated. It wasn't just you put your rabbit ears up and you fix a couple of dials to get your ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, and whatever, WGN, whatever networks happen to be broadcasting over antenna at the time. And then it got more complicated with televisions, then when they got cable ready, then satellite ready, as they said. And then you had more and more channels, and then television started getting complicated where you had both audio and video settings, closed captioning settings, you had picture and color settings, you had either dually digital or high definition. Now, but mostly, most people can figure out a television regardless. Now, computers are a little more complicated. Even the first computers, when they came out, were very, very complicated, and still this day, even though you can get computers big as a desktop or a laptop or a netbook or even a tablet if you want to go that far. But even then they get complicated. Even mobile phones were complicated and still this day can be complicated. But if you don't know what you're doing, then it's probably better to ask for help, and it's better not to do anything if you don't understand. Now, to my video, Jordan says, it goes something like this. Remember the old commercials where they would have normal PCs that were made by every third-party manufacturer under the sun, bursting the Apple Macintosh, and they would always come on and try to compare their similarities and their differences? Hi. It's like, hi, I'm a PC. Hi, I'm a Mac. I run Microsoft Windows. I run Apple's Macintosh OS. Well, I have the Dolby Flash Player. I got the Dolby Flash Player too. I have the Microsoft Multimedia Player. Well, I use the Microsoft Multimedia Player too. I use Microsoft Silverlight Player. I got the Microsoft Silverlight Player as well. Well, I don't have any antivirus protection. I don't have any antivirus protection, but I rarely ever get hacked by viruses because my operating system is rare. But I'm more cheaper. Yeah, it is true, you are more cheaper though. But I have little cool things too. I have Apple's Macintosh iMovie. Yeah, well, I got the Microsoft Windows Movie Maker. Well, my stuff are exclusive to me, only to Apple's Macintosh users. I don't know how exclusive it is, you know. The only exclusive things I see is the Apple's Macintosh iMovie, but everything else seems to be Microsoft except for the operating system. Now, the funny thing is, a lot of people are going to think, oh, why did they call it a Mac versus PC? Because I think because the Apple's Macintosh was a personal computer, but it was made by Apple exclusively, where every other computer out there was either made by RCA or Philips or Sony or Westinghouse or Ericsson or IG or RCR, ACR or Dell or E-Machines or Comcast Pisario or Gateway or, I don't know, or Zeba, Tohasha or Zenas, or Magnavox for example. And I'm probably, Fuji, I'm probably running out of all the manufacturers out there, Sunsoft or whatever. And I think they tried to distance themselves by saying, oh, but we're exclusively made by Apple, so we're different. But the truth was, the only difference between the Apple's Macintosh computer and other computers where they ran the Apple's Macintosh OS operating system that technically was its own operating system, but it used a lot of Microsoft things on it, like Microsoft Multimedia Player, Microsoft Windows Movie Maker, or Microsoft Windows Silverlight Player or stuff. But there were a couple exclusive things like the Apple's Macintosh iMovie, for example. And that's about it. Now, a lot of people are going to say, how come you start out the video talking about things being complicated? Because if you don't understand something, you might make a mistake, or if you don't know what you're doing, don't do it. And I just gave television to be an example. Computers are still more complicated than they were, even though most people can pretty much understand what a laptop and a desktop and tablet does, and they can pretty much understand all their functions and to do what they want to do. But sometimes you may do something by accident, or you may do something in purpose, whatever the case might be, but it's easy to confuse, it's easy to mess up if you don't know what you're doing, and if you go in impulses or something. So that's about it. I'm Jordan. I'll see you later.